JP Morosi, good enough to be with us in studio for this week-ending installment of the program. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Matt. Usually we're 1,000 miles apart, and now it's like 3 feet. So
it's good to see you in person. We have highlights here of the Phillies and Blue Jays. We didn't have a chance to get to this yet. However, I'll do the Cliff Notes version of it. Jose Barrios making his spring debut and pretty effective yesterday.
Very effective, showing that he is an all-star pitcher, potentially even a Cy Young candidate. He's that great. And you go back to last year's postseason, I was very impressed reading the piece by Keegan Matheson today at MLB.com, where Barrios was talking about how now being able to get in a Grapefruit League game, he can put last year's postseason behind them. We know it, the quick hook in game 2 of the series against the Twins. And he has just been so focused and so mature as he's gone about his business. And Keegan's story talked about how he's added a lot of good weight. The stuff is playing up. Look how sharp he is, CY. Just the command. When you see someone who's this talented and is this dialed in this early in camp, coming off a playoff season the year before, very good sign.
What was the feel from the Blue Jays as far as what that missing link was? Because when you see them on paper, you seem like they should be World Series contenders every year.
You're right. I think it's more contact. Watching that team play last year, a lot of righty bats who were relatively similar to pitch to. Great hitters individually, but you think about it, if you're a right-handed starting pitcher in particular with big stuff, I think back to Luis Castillo in the playoffs 2 years ago. He had a game plan. He was getting them to chase sliders, and they never adjusted. I think they wanted to get more left-handed. That's why Dalton Varsho came in. He actually looks pretty good this spring as well. And Justin Turner. They believe that different mentality, the veteran voice, Chris, is going to make a huge
like that.
Blue Jays play the Yankees in their spring contest today, and they will face the spring debut of Garrett Cole.
I love this story because Garrett Cole, to me, he speaks about someone who's already at the top of his craft but wants to get better. And I was there in Yankees camp earlier this spring when he spoke with the media, his season opening press conference. And when he was speaking about ways that he could find to get a little bit better, stay at this level, and also have team success, I heard Hall of Famer. That's how Hall of Famers talk. Not just a guy that wins the Cy Young, but a guy that's good year after year after year. And he signs this contract with the Yankees. We talk so much about what it means to sign a high-dollar deal and the pressure of it. He has answered the bell in every conceivable way. He has lived up to that contract. Talk about at the time the richest contract ever for a pitcher, living up to it. That's a pretty strong statement.
I think I saw Louisiana Lightning in the background of one of those shots too.
Still
Ron
there?
Guidry shaking his head saying, wow, this guy's pretty good. Hey, we haven't talked a lot about the Angels this week. Is it a fair statement to say now that Ohtani's gone, we can focus on this nice young core that they've put together? Nolan Schanuel, Logan O'Hoppe, and Zach Neto, who's off to a great start.
Tremendous start, Matt. And we talked a lot about Neto last year, just watching the Angels carefully. He's got a chance to be a mainstay shortstop there for a long time. And the power is coming a bit as well. Of course, Campbell, part of that great baseball program there. I see a simple approach. My goodness. And the ball, look at how that travels. I realize it's Arizona air, but that was scalded to center field over 420. I think Zach Neto, Matty, and Chris can be an all-star shortstop. And this is a team that coming off of losing Ohtani and obviously hoping that Trout comes back and is healthy, they're going to need a real youthful infusion to, I think, help recast, Chris, a little bit the identity of this ball club.
I think their identity just has to change a little bit. I know Ron Washington was talking earlier this week about how you do have to change how they play the game. They're focusing a lot more on base running. You have that many young players in your lineup. You got to be able to use their legs a little bit more. I think that'll make a big difference for them.
Can the Angels make ground between where they are and the top part of the division? Houston, the Rangers, and the Mariners. And speaking of the Mariners, some potential bad news out of their bullpen. What's that looking like right now for them?
We'll be watching very carefully today. Matt Brash he had an issue last week throwing, and the Mariners have been quiet for about a week about exactly what's going on, and I think that's raised some alarm. Ryan Divish has been reporting on this at the Seattle Times, where we expect to hear sometime today an update on Matt Brash. And I would just say, from reading the situation, the silence on it has been a little ominous. We'll remain hopeful that maybe there's some good news to be had there. But you think about someone who led the American League in appearances last year, Matt, and the Mariners went to that well a lot, and they had to. They play a lot of close games. That's part of, I think why they've tried to reimagine their lineup is they want to get the bullpen a little more space to work. But Brash, he wanted the ball so much. A great Canadian from Kingston, Ontario, always wanted the ball. And now you wonder if the bill for that will come due. Gregory Santos, who they acquired, you see their bullpen options right there. Santos was slowed a little bit, but they expect he'll be able to get back on the mound here shortly and potentially get in some games. I'll draw your attention. Andres Munoz, who missed some time last year, if he has a full healthy season, that is now not just a bonus, that is a necessity if they're going to find a way to keep pace. The one thing I'll say, though, on the Mariners' behalf and why this AL West is so interesting, you're right, the Angels with some youth, the Mariners retooled their lineup. Both the Rangers with Scherzer, DeGrom, Malley, they've got some key starters out.
Yeah.
Houston, Verlander's been slowed a little bit. McCullers is not ready to go. So there's going to be an opportunity, I believe, for a team that's not the chalk to get off to a good start early on in the season. And we all know this. You got to have a good bullpen.
Hold on to your seats, Yankees fans. We've got some electrifying news that's bound to shake things up next season. According to a trusted insider, the New York Yankees might just be gearing up for an epic pursuit in the upcoming offseason. But here's the kicker, we're not talking about just any player, we're talking about a superstar from the Houston Astros. Now, I know you're dying to know who this mystery player is, but hold on tight because we're building up the suspense here. The Yankees have already made headlines with their jaw-dropping trade for former Padres sensation Juan Soto. And while keeping Soto on board is a top priority, rumor has it that the Yankees are eyeing even bigger moves. One name that's been buzzing around is none other than Alex Bregman from the Houston Astros. Picture this, Bregman, donning the iconic pinstripes, igniting the Yankee Stadium with his talent and prowess. It's a scenario that could completely change the game. But wait, there's more. Insider reports suggest that the Yankees are gearing up for a financial showdown in the offseason, with speculation of a dollar-for-dollar battle with their crosstown rivals, the Mets, for the services of Juan Soto. And in the midst of all this excitement, the possibility of snagging Bregman has sent shockwaves through the baseball world. Now, I'm not saying it's a done deal, folks. But the mere mention of Bregman as a potential target for the Yankees has set the rumor mill spinning. Could this be the move that propels the Yankees to greatness? Only time will tell. But hey, don't just take my word for it. We want to hear from you. What do you think about the prospect of Bregman joining the Yankees? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you want to stay in the loop with all the latest Yankees news and updates, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a single bombshell revelation, trust me.